So an infectious disease has brought America to its knees in only 5 days, and there is no amount of emergency that's going to bring it back, I think. We have to leave that task to The Division. Joining me is Ryan Bernard, the game director for The Division.
Hello.
You have brought some gameplay here to actually walk us through.
Sure.
And this is, The Division is squad-based co-op.
Yep.
All online. And so how many players are we talking in a squad here?
Well, a group, as we call it, is 4 players plus the companion or drone, which is our cross-screen addition for the game.
Gotcha. So as this comes up here, we're going to start walking through a mission. But
Sure.
Tell us a little bit more about the backstory of The Division. So this plague is broken out. It's kind of, we've seen New York kind of decimated.
Yes.
Is this a post-apocalyptic thing? Are we just fighting to survive? Are we taking control back?
It's important that we make sure that it's the distinction that it's mid-crisis. So it's not post-apocalyptic. This is all happening a few weeks before you're activated in the game and you start as a player.
Gotcha. So as we're coming in here, these environments look amazing. And New York is pretty open, right?
Yeah. It's an open world New York game as a structure. So choice is really important in The Division. We want you, as you can see, we're going to open our map here, and there's a variety of activities you'll be able to see on the map, and you can make a choice on where you want to go.
The UI is insanely awesome on this.
Our UI team is crazy. The Swedes, man. So we make a choice and get a waypoint, and we head out.
So tell me a little bit about what our mission is here as we're watching Megan running through.
So we're helping Megan get her base of operations online for this area or this district. But on the way, we're going to see that we're going to kind of bring our new gadget for this year, which is a tool we call Echo. So what it is a 3D reconstruction of closed-circuit camera, cell phones, anything digital in an area can be reconstructed. So you can get missions, there's clues about the overall narrative, and maybe factions of who you'll be fighting in the area.
So this is all, as we're exploring, the story sort of unfolds for us.
Yeah. That's
really cool. So as we're coming up here, using Echo, I mean, anybody can use Echo? Does everybody on our team have the same abilities?
Yeah, I mean, it's progressive, so we're an RPG, so you'll level your Echo tool just like your skills in the game. But if one agent activates Echo, all the agents in the group can see the scene that's played.
So are there distinct character classes with different abilities?
No, we really believe in a classless type RPG. So you define how you want to play. What do you want to be, an aggressive role, a support role, stay in the back and do damage? So on the fly, you can change your skills, you can change the weapon out, and change your role right even during combat. So you can see here, Bronson's going to set up a trap, basically a stun trap for like a taser trap for the first enemy, so we can kind of deal with the other two quickly.
So, as we're fighting here, are we fighting against, what are we looking at? Are we looking at sort of like a rebel faction, a terrorist faction?
Well, there's a variety of factions in the game, but we want them to be representative of New York. New York has a lot of, just basic thugs that would be up to, looting, terrorizing civilians that have survived. So these are just generic thugs that we have in this demo. But we've introduced our first faction in the CGI, which is the Cleaners, the flamethrower guys, in the other video, which is also part of our booth demo.
So lead me through, as we're in a combat situation here, what sort of things can we do to sort of help out the rest of our team?
We're a cover-based combat game, so choosing your cover, choosing where you situate yourself is the first kind of important thing. So player one here is kind of a mid-range character. He's using the Chris, the SMG, and he's going to want to position himself at a distance that works well with that weapon. And then on top of that, you want to use the skills that make sense for the weapon type you've chosen. So here we have a strobe or a firefly, which can kind of visually stun the enemies. And we're also using a modified Seeker Mine from last year. And you'll see the big effect at the end of that. But that's how all the skills in the game will work, is you unlock a baseline skill, and then later you can kind of modify it and up to changing how the skill works completely.
Very cool. And are we looking at, as far as our weapons here, are we trying to keep it sort of grounded in a realistic world, or are we going to see some things that are a little more out there?
Well, I mean, it's a balance, right? Everything we do in the game, we make sure that it's grounded, that it's researched. It's a Tom Clancy game, but it's an RPG, and we want it to be fun, and we want kind of tech to be our magic in the game. So as long as it's plausible and there's a basis for it and it's fun, it'll be in.
Very cool. And when are we going to be able to get our hands on The Division?
It's coming in 2015, so we look forward to it.
Excellent. So let's check out the trailer now for The Division. Thanks a lot, Ryan.
Thank you.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm.
It's hard to watch something you love destroy itself, to see it fall apart. Disaster always feels so distant, detached. Someone else's struggle in some faraway place. It's not until it's in our city, at our doors, that we realize how fragile we are. All of us. All of this.
No, baby, Steven. I'm here. Mommy's right here.
Please.
I love you, Marcus.
Sarah.
And when it hit, when it came down hard.
Give me my family back.
And we fell.
Fucking lies.
We buried ourselves in anger, fear, in the instinct to survive.
I'm sorry, Sarah. I'm just not strong enough. Where's the drive, son? Please no more.
And the real truth is, no one watched, no one saw, wanted to see. Tragedy is invisible. People turn away from it and run from it if they can. And it's hard knowing that you belong here, that your purpose lies amongst all this pain. But someone's gotta be there to pick it up, to push back. Put the first piece back together. Put us all back together.
PlayStation.